The only thing a bully stands up to, or the only thing a bully pays attention to, is someone who stands up to them. All right, we are now going into the second week of the shutdown of the federal government, and everybody is starting to really get focused on this because people were paid last Friday. Last Friday, we did see federal workers paid. So there's 2 more weeks before another paycheck is coming. When that paycheck doesn't show up, that might focus the mind of some folks. I think the military paychecks are due even before that. So people are wondering whether or not we will hold out on this federal shutdown until after the military paychecks get missed. There is also some budding thought that perhaps we may have a military paycheck bill that gets passed just to kind of bridge the gap for people in the military. I could see that happening because nobody wants to be on record denying the troops from getting their money.
Well, it's still the fact that there are hundreds of thousands of people who've lost their jobs in this DC area, federal workers. This government shutdown and the idea of what's a pocket recession, these new ideas that are coming up because of the current process failures, are going to use that to fire even more workers. This not only is part of the Trump plan to force a shutdown at this point, but it's not even about necessarily the desire that Trump and his team have about having a functional Congress or even having a budget. They sit there and look at it like, great, we have a plan to really undermine and change the entire executive branch of government, the administrative state. Don't want what they call unelected bureaucrats making decisions, even those are experts on healthcare or on food quality. Any of those, they don't want any of that. So this is another opportunity to just cut public services and cut those resources that the federal government has been providing for people. I do think that people will feel more outraged about this government shutdown and feel that this is different once on October 31st, everyone who has health insurance is going to get a letter detailing how their health insurance premiums are going to be going up. And that is regardless, right? That is part of the notification process from this past budget bill that happened. And that's when people see immediately that healthcare prices are going up and a government Congress is still shut down, and that no situation is moving forward. I think that Democratic message on making healthcare affordable will really start to resonate. Because right now it seems a little weird. Like, okay, well, the government's not working and we talk about all these bad consequences. What does that have to do with healthcare?
We don't often commend the Democratic leadership for
Nope.
doing a good job. But I think they're doing a good job on this one. Here's the reason why. By focusing attention on what's happening with the healthcare, this Obama subsidy loss you're talking about, when healthcare costs go up and the subsidy goes away, so many families are going to be left holding the bag. So you've got what Senator Raphael Warnock did a great job this week. He highlighted from Anthem Health. He had somebody, a $65,000 worker in Georgia, one of his constituents, which means they're probably like a warehouse supervisor, maybe. That's about that's about the income of a warehouse supervisor in Georgia. So $65,000. Healthcare premium goes up for the family from about $300-ish to over $960. Now, who can take a tripling from $300 to over $900 in their healthcare premium? You can't do it. So you got to have that subsidy in order for your family to be able to have healthcare. If that was going to happen anyway, which it was, what the Democrats are doing is making everybody know this is Donald Trump's fault. They are putting this rotten egg right on the president's lap. And even if it happens, which would be sad if it does, everybody in the country will know Trump's the one who wouldn't fix it, not the Democrats.
Well, and then the idea writ large that that's on top of increasing prices, food, appliances, Christmas gifts, all of that. Everything's getting more expensive. You're starting to feel it. And then you're getting told that, well, this is just some temporary pain that Americans have to experience for really reimagining the economy. You're like, okay, so now this temporary pain also means uh, can't afford healthcare, right? Now, these are real choices about what you can and cannot do as a family or as an individual now. And for what? For this theory of what might happen in the future. But the current reality is that it hurts for me, but not for Elon Musk or, the 10 billionaires who are currently in the Trump administration as cabinet members.
It doesn't hurt for them at all, and I'll tell you what else though, even though it might hurt some of the federal workers who are losing their pay, here's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing from people who are dealing with federal workers, people who are talking to the unions that represent federal workers. They're willing to take a little pain. You know why? Because they were in pain before, and everybody's walking around on eggshells. They don't know when the axe is gonna fall next, who's
Mhm.
gonna get laid off, what program is gonna close. So they're willing to deal with it now if the Democrats will stand up and fight. And I was just talking to somebody in Detroit, just a few days ago, and they were saying to me, finally, the Democrats are fighting on something. They're pushing back. And they know this may not work out the way we want. Trump may still get away with something that they don't want to have happen, but they just want to see the Democrats get in the game and fight. And I think if they can close the gap, if the Democrats can close the gap with some of their constituents and show them they're willing to fight and be creative, that may give the party a fighting chance to hold Trump back because you know he's a bully. And the only thing a bully stands up to, or the only thing a bully pays attention to, is someone who stands up to them.
And that's what I think we're seeing across the board from Democrats. There are those who are embracing that you need to stop operating as if the old rules apply and that you can come back in and fix those and go back to that. That's not how business is done. And the more that senators make decisions like Chuck Schumer did before to just, okay, well, we'll vote along because we don't want all these people to get hurt. It's like, guys, they're going to figure out how to hurt people anyway, right? That is
Yep.
coming, it is happening. We need to figure out how at least people know you're standing up for them. Because if what you're doing is going along because you think in some way you're helping, save these other people versus, the people who are going to get hurt anyway. At the end of the day, you're still just going along. That's nothing different. That's not an alternative. If anything, that's appeasement. And appeasing bullies does not work.
Never has, never will.